Hi, if you cast your mind back to when we first started these workshops, Tony did an excellent presentation of using PixInsight and his workflow in it. And what he was able to do is create a template of the frequently used scripts for his workflow, and they generally appear over on the right hand side of PixInsight. And it's a guide, it's a memory guide as to which particular scripts to use in your workflow. There isn't that facility in SiriL until now, and there's been a recently developed utility which enables you to do that. So I'll show you first how to load this utility. It's a script. So we go to scripts, get scripts. Because it's a utility, if you scroll down to utilities, it's here, it's called Script Launcher. I've already installed it by putting a tick against it and pressing apply, so I don't need to do it again. So to launch it, it's Python scripts, utility, and there it is, Script Launcher. And what it is like a notepad of scripts that you use, and also some notes for yourself to remind you about the various scripts. So to add a script to your workflow, you just grab hold of it, drag it across, and when you want to use that script, all you need to do is click on the run button. You can also add notes about that script. So some notes. As a reminder, when you're working through your workflow, you can click on the tick to show that you've used that, and it'll put across through the script name. There's the ability to star this to your favourites so that it will always appear at your top of the list, and you can get rid of it if you want. But if you just want to put it back into the list of scripts because you're not going to use it, you can just drag it back that way. The other thing you can do is you can add notes, and that's this button here, which is add step. So we'll just call it a note, and we'll make it the first one. Okay, and you can actually add some more information to that note if you wanted to. And you can include in there a hyperlink to some information that you might want to refer to at a later date. So if I save that. So what I've done is, what I should mention is that when you've built your workflow, you can save it. I'm not going to save this one, but here's one I prepared earlier, and I'll share this by putting a link in the video notes. So if I click on that, it will bring up this fairly comprehensive list of workflow using the recently added to SiriL, the VeraLux, and this Psych one. So to start with, I've put a note at the top which tells you to use the VeraLux starting point script first. So when I run that script, what it does, I'll move this out of the way, it brings up a list of all the VeraLux scripts that are currently available, and it puts them in the order that you would use them. So in the linear phase of your workflow, you would use, potentially you could use, you don't have to, you could potentially use Nox, Silentium, Alchemy, and so forth all the way down. Now when you click on one of these, it brings up the overview and the notes about how you use that particular script. And very useful at the bottom, there's the YouTube video created by Deep Sky Astro guy, showing you how to use that script. I find that pretty useful, that. So you can either click the cross or click on close to close that down, and I'll go back to my scripts. I'm not going to add any more scripts to my workflow, so I can hide that for now. In addition to the notes about the VeraLux at the top there, I've also added some notes to some of the other scripts. So if we look at which one, auto background extraction here, and you can see that the notes icon is highlighted blue. That means I've got some information there, so I've put my defaults in there which I use, and I've also put the URL to the Deep Sky Astro YouTube video about how to use auto background extraction. As I said before, I'm going to make this script available. It's be in the notes for this YouTube and also on the our chat group. When you hover over the name of the workflow and right click, it gives you the option to export, import, or actually delete the workflow. So if you do use my workflow, then you would use the import. So I'm not going to go through all the scripts. You don't want to watch me fumbling about through my workflow, but I do want to show you a couple of the scripts, the VeraLux scripts. So I'm going to work with the image I developed, I stacked earlier using SiriL. So if I auto stretch that, you'll see the image I'm going to work on. So I'm going to do the background extraction, take some noise out, and then I'm going to remove the stars, and then I'll see you at the other side. So welcome back. I've as you can see, I've removed the stars, done some stretching. I'm now in linear mode, and what I wanted to show you was VeraLux curves. So run that script, and just like any other curves, we can give it a slight S, and probably make it pop out a little bit. But there's more to this than, let's reset it. There's more to this than you first imagine when you look at it. It has a masking capability. So if you enable the range limiting and show mask, what happens is that everything that's white will now be affected by your changes on the curves. So you can move the amount of white with these two sliders. So if I just want to work on the galaxy area, I can move that across. Alternatively, if I just want to work on the background, I can mask off the background like that. So let's, if I untick the show mask, and then if I make it go darker, I'm not affecting the core of the galaxy by doing that. So I'm just going to restore that, and what I want to do is just highlight this the galaxy a bit. So I'll enable and show mask, move that across so that I'm just working on the galaxy, and I can bring that up a little bit. Oh, I need to take that out so that you can see the changes. So the galaxy is popping up a little bit more. I'll apply that change and you'll notice that I've applied now one change. And I want to work on the red. So if I click red and enable and show mask and take this down, so I've just got the galaxy I'm working on. Untick that, and now when I boost the red signal, you can see that's being applied to the galaxy. So I'll apply that, so I've now got two changes applied, and I want to work on the blue. I want to drop some of the blue down a bit. So again, enable and show mask till I've got it set around the galaxy. And that will do me there. Untick the show mask, and then I just want to drop down the blue until I get that sort of goldy colour. I'm happy with that now. So I'll apply that change, and I just want to bring up the luminosity. So I'll do the same again. Untick the show mask and bring up the luminosity of the galaxy. So I think I'm happy with that. So if I apply that change and then process it all, when it's finished it should close the window. There it is, and there's those changes that I've made. So I'm going to bring the stars back into this, and again, because it takes a while, I'll meet you on the other side. So here we are, I've recomposed the stars, and that's near enough finished for me for this one. There was something else which I wanted to show you, which is VeraLux Vectra, but that really works better on nebula images. So I'm going to load a nebula and come back when that's loaded. So the last script I want to show you is the VeraLux Vectra. So I've brought up my stack of M1, the Crab Nebula. As you can see, I've taken the stars out, I've stretched it, and if I've applied some curves to it, and if I bring out the VeraLux Vectra, and I'll just zoom on in, and what this allows you to do is change the hue and the saturation of either the primary colours or the secondary colours. And it's good if you use this Vectra scope here, and what you'll see is as I move the saturation out on the red, then you'll see the point move further out to the outer rim of the circle. As I move the hue down, it will go towards the yellowy, it will go towards the purple. As I go the opposite direction, it will go more towards the yellow and green. So if I wanted to bring out some more yellow, I would go to the secondaries and extend the yellow, and I'll see what happens when I want to go that way or that way. So I'm liking that. You see what it looks like. So that's not looking too bad for me. So I'll hit the process, and that will apply it. So I'm not going to go any further. What I'll do now is bring back the stars and finish it off. But you get the picture. So I hope that's been of use. As I say, this post-processing template I'm going to leave on the group chat and also in the remarks for this video. So thanks for listening, and it's a good night from me.